Victor, congratulations
Thank you very
on
much, Rama.
Destination Wedding.
Thank you.
Love this movie.
Thank you.
It's so original, so refreshing. Um, I have gone to Destination Wedding myself in the past,
Yes.
so I could relate
Yeah.
to how stressful and like, oh, I gotta do activities. And so, did that come from the same place for you when you came up with the stories? Like, oh, it's so dreadful.
Rama, I have been to my share of destination weddings, and I'm always honored to be asked, and I always try to go, because I love the people, and I love that they're getting married, and I think it's good luck, and I want to help them celebrate. But boy, oh boy, when you have to travel halfway around the
Yes.
world, and it's 5 days, and it's all the expenses and all the worry and all the stress. I mean, at a certain point, couldn't you have the wedding here in town? Would it kill you to have the wedding here in town? Not that I don't love you. I'll go. Could you have the wedding here? So there is a little, bit of that
I,
for sure.
I love the location. Was it Paso?
At Paso Robles,
Oh,
yeah.
it's beautiful. I've been there before.
Yeah,
So
gorgeous.
talk a bit about casting Keanu and Winona, because Keanu did not do any butt kicking here. He kicked butt with his words, not literally.
Yes, there was no butt kicking in any form for Keanu in this film,
Mm.
and he had, of course, he had a metric ton of dialogue to memorize
Yes.
and deliver, and he was so good, and he's so. I mean, people may not know that he is an incredibly verbal, intellectual, encyclopedic person. I mean, he is. He's just really good at this stuff. He memorized, pages and pages and pages down to the syllable. He was as concerned with the melodies and the rhythms of the lines as I was, and that's my stock and trade. I mean, that's my favorite thing to concentrate on. He was like a musician out there.
Mm.
And I think it might come as a really good surprise to longtime fans of his to see him, delivering these long speeches, and to see how incredibly gifted he is verbally. We have the benefit of the wonderful Pam Dixon, who was our casting director on this film, and she gave the script to Winona, who I think also felt that the material was very well suited to her. And then Winona said, "I know exactly who should play the lead, and it's Keanu." And I think he'd be thrilled if somebody gave him this kind of thing to play. I don't know that people give it to him all the time. Let's send it to him and see what happens. And she was absolutely right.
Now, I'm assuming it may have simplified the directing process, the fact that those two are the only people in this movie that have, speaking roles. But how challenging was it, script writing process wise?
It's pretty challenging script writing wise to
Yeah.
have only two speakers in your film, but I hope there's a certain elegance to it.
Mm.
And it was reflective of the theme of the film, which is that these two people are sealed off from life. They can't participate in life. They can't participate in the activities of this wedding. They can't participate in happiness, really. All of that stuff is going on over there somewhere. And our two guys are sealed off in their own little world, constantly at the exiles table. You've been to enough weddings. There's always one table where, who the hell are those people? I don't know. We didn't really want them here. We invited them because we had to, and they probably showed up because they had to, and let's just put them over there. So this is life at that table.
Mm.
So I wanted to keep it separate. I wanted to have them be in two shots. I wanted them to be, physically and in terms of what you see on shots, removed from what's going on at the wedding itself. I've seen enough movies where it's all about the wedding. I wanted this to be what's happening at table 36. So it's simpler in the sense that you don't have to shoot all that stuff, for sure, but it's more complicated in the sense that you better be interesting enough in those long two shots to sustain an audience's attention. And of course, it'll be up to the audiences to decide if we are, but I hope we are, to sustain an audience's attention through a long conversation that's happening while presumably someone's getting married, 75 feet away.
I read somewhere that you don't want to label this as romantic comedy. You want to see it as a romantic story that aims to be funny.
Well,
Relationships.
a lot of the work that I've done in my career
Oh.
has found its way into the so-called romantic comedy genre. But this is a genre that has been, in my view, harmed by a whole bunch of formula movies, which over the years have sort of diminished the genre itself. Audiences sometimes, for a while there, felt like they could guess the beats of the story before they happened,
Mm.
you know. And I don't think, I think audiences are smart. I think they want more than that. I think they, you know, they have other questions on their mind besides how do we inevitably get to the happily ever after. That's my gambit anyway. That's the reason to make this movie. So to call it a romantic comedy is to use a term which, you know, in the modern world is no longer reflective of what it once was, and that's the only reason I object to it. And I only object to it really for silly academic reasons. Of course it's a romantic, but I'm just saying, you know, please don't think that it's going to be some formula Hollywood movie, because it isn't. I know it has a sort of a formula Hollywood movie title, and I know it has big fancy people in it, but it's a little indie about conversations and arguments and ideas with a tiny bit of sex and a mountain lion. That's all.
So what's your advice for cynics out there who think that love is a fool's errand?
Well, it may be a fool's errand, but it's the best fool's errand we have. You know, I can't imagine a more worthy goal than love in all its forms. You know, romantic love, familial love, fraternal love, familial, whatever it is. I can't imagine a more worthy goal than love. So I would hope that even in the face of disappointment, we continue to strive for it. I think it's the key to all of us getting along, to the world being a peaceful and more decent place, which would be great, in my view, and to our individual happiness as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Victor, for your time.
Of course, thanks for yours.
Congratulations on Destination Wedding.
Thanks for coming.